Hey everybody, welcome back to the shared meal and happy Tuesday, happy Taco Tuesday, best day of the week. Today we're going to do taco bowls here at the house, so we're going to skip the tortillas and make a little healthier version for ourselves today, but with all the big bold flavors that we really love. So I wanted to show you one thing that we're going to do on our taco bowl. Taco bowls are pretty self-explanatory. I don't feel like a whole demo is needed. So I wanted to do one thing that I just thought of this morning that would be really good on tonight's dinner, and then we'll go over one other prep item that I don't think many people know about. So to get started, we're going to need some corn. So a can of corn is fine, or frozen corn. You're going to need yogurt or sour cream, mayonnaise. You're going to need cumin, chili, or you can use this Elote seasoning that you can find at Trader Joe's. You're going to need lemon or lime, and that's it. That's all you're going to need, because today we're going to make a little street corn salad to put on top of our taco bowl. So if you've never had street corn before, it's amazing. It usually comes either on the cob or in a little cup, and it's corn mixed with sour cream and mayonnaise and a little bit of cheese. Usually use cotija cheese, but today we're using feta. That's what we have. And it usually has some chili and other spices like cumin and salt on it as well. So I made a little tester for myself just a minute ago. It's so good. There's not really any solid measurements to this. It's all going to be by taste and what you like. But the first thing that you're going to need to do before you finish this recipe is you're going to heat up a pan. So I just use the saucepan like this. A little bit of olive oil on the bottom after it warms up on medium. Put your corn in, and you're going to saute it until it has some brown like caramelization on the corn. So it kind of looks like the corn has been roasted and taken off the cob. That's what you want it to look like. So after you've done that, come back to this recipe. So if you've already done that, we're going to take our corn. This is a little less than 1 can just because I made that extra taster for myself. I'll just add that into our full amount. So I have 1 can. It'll probably be just enough for 2 people. So if you have more than that in your family, just add. We're just going to put it into a bowl. Now, when you get the corn all brown like that, it gives us this caramely sweet flavor that's really good. Literally by itself, you could probably just eat it. So if you have some picky eaters that maybe would be into some of these flavors, you can leave some of it off to the side for them to add into their bowl on their own. Okay, so we have our corn. We're going to use our mayonnaise and our yogurt. And we're going to spoon. So we're not going to put very much. We're probably going to put about 1 solid tablespoon of yogurt or sour cream to get started. And then we're going to put about the same amount, maybe a little less. Put that right there. After that, you can add your seasoning. So we're going to add a little extra cumin, just because we really like that flavor. I would say about a teaspoon is good. And then if you wanted, you can add chili, paprika at this time. You can add half teaspoons, quarter teaspoons of those things, depending on how much heat that you like. Or if you've grabbed this Elote seasoning at the store, it's really good on so many things. You can put that right in. It has some cumin and chili. It has some powdered cheese in it, which is really tasty, honestly. So we're just going to throw that right in, as much as you'd like. Now, traditionally, this dish comes with lime, but they didn't have any at the store, so we're just using lemon today. So squeeze a whole lemon into your dish. If you're using more than 1 can, remember that you should increase the amount of ingredients. Put the seeds off to the side, to the other half. There we go. And let's see, what else do we need? We need our salt, and we need a little bit of cheese. Now, since the cheese is salty, we're not going to add a whole bunch of salt to this dish. We're just going to add a tiny bit, just a pinch. Sprinkle it on top, just to bring out some of those flavors. And then we're going to mix it up and put the cheese on the top. So take your spoon and just mix it right up. All right. So you can see it kind of looks like this, all mixed together. I honestly would just eat this with a spoon, so that's always good to know. We'll add in my little taster, so that way we have the full amount for dinner. And now we'll crumble our cheese on top. You put as much cheese as you want. I'm just going to do, we'll say it's about a quarter cup of cheese right over the top. And that's it, you're done. So there's one topping for your taco bowl, that's all done. So we're going to go ahead and move some of this off to the side. I'm gonna rinse my hands, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna do one more prep item for our taco bowls tonight that I don't think very many people know about. So we'll be back in just a second. All right, we're back. And we just wanted to go over one more thing about a taco bowl prep. Since everyone really knows what a taco bowl is, it's like a grain and then some taco fillings on the top, right? The best thing ever. But for vegetarians, there's some options and then there's some lack of options on what you can put in your bowl. Because when you eat meat, you're just like, oh, I'll make like chicken or ground beef, pork, whatever, put it in, and that's like my taco filling. But as a vegetarian, you're like, I don't always want beans all the time. Or I want beans, but I also want something else. So there's a couple things you can do. You could smash up some tofu in a pan with some olive oil on the bottom until it's crumbly, and you can sprinkle taco seasoning or other seasonings over the top. You could use beans, of course, that's always an option. Today I'm going to talk about using tempeh because tempeh itself has more protein per amount than any other product. Now it is made out of soy, but because it's processed in a different way, it has more protein than, say, tofu does, because tofu is technically like coagulated soy milk, and tempeh is technically the bean cell, so it has a different form. So tempeh doesn't taste like anything, and that means it's a great vehicle for a lot of flavors. So what we're going to do today is we're going to crumble it up, which I've already done. So grab your tempeh, if it's in a block, you can cut it into pieces and then use your hands to crumble it up so it kind of resembles ground meat. Or if it's already in pieces like chunks itself, you can just break those chunks up into crumbly pieces. You really want to get that emphasis of flavor. If you want to leave it in cubes, that's also fine. It just might not absorb as quickly as it will right now. Take some olive oil, or any oil that you use, put about a tablespoon in. Add some fat to your tempeh. Now, I have some seasonings available here. We already used the Elote, so we're not going to use that again. I have some cumin. We're definitely going to use this. You can always use a taco seasoning packet. My favorite one is from Trader Joe's. Or you can use chili powder, paprika, cumin, salt, and pepper, and that will imitate that as well. I don't have chili, but I do have paprika, but we also have this like blackened seasoning blackened seasoning rub. Then we're going to use a little bit of this to flavor our tempeh with the cumin. So we'll put that in. You can put as much as you'd like, but remember, the more probably the better, just because it's going to absorb into the tempeh. All right, so let's grab something to stir it with. Just stir it up. And the oil is going to help your tempeh kind of stick to some of that seasoning so it can sit in it for a little while. You can even use the spoon to break up some of those larger pieces. And there you go. So to prepare this for dinner, I'll heat up a pan. I'll put a tiny bit of olive oil on the bottom, probably another tablespoon or so. And then you're going to cook the tempeh on about medium to medium-high heat and add a little bit of salt on the top when you cook it, and just cook it until it's looking brown and crispy. You don't want to overcook it, which will be easy since it's in smaller pieces, but just cook it until it's brown and then it's done. You can't undercook tempeh because it's just a bean, which is kind of the best part about it. But it'll give it a nice texture to add to your bowl. Now, other things I'm going to use in my bowl today are quinoa, which I'm going to prep in just a little while, some fresh tomatoes, kale, and maybe some shaved carrots. And we'll use hot sauce on top as well with that elote corn that we made. And that's it. It's super easy. All right, everybody have a great Taco Tuesday. Take some of these ideas and make them your own. And of course, if you take any inspiration from us, make sure you tag us on Instagram